Kīholo. Kīholo State Park spans over 4,300 acres in the ahupua'a of Pu'uwawa. Kīholo was originally one of the fish ponds, or local ia, for King Kamehameha in the early 1800s. However, when Mauna Loa erupted in 1859, it ultimately covered a bulk of the fish ponds. For a long time, Kīholo's fish ponds were unusable and unfit for marine life. However, through the efforts of a community organization known as Hui Aloha Kīholo, these fish ponds were restored to working order. And in the present day, you can see all kinds of life calling this place home. While Kīholo is a place of natural and cultural significance, I believe it has a greater power, the power to bring people from different backgrounds together through a mutual love of place. It's hard to describe the feeling of being in Kīholo, surrounded by history that was almost lost less than 2 decades ago.
We are. They're $20. Would you like, you can Venmo there or cash as well. I'm a ʻāina. We're a sort of park ranger, on behalf of Hui Aloha Kīholo, our nonprofit. We do general park maintenance. We also do a lot of invasive species removal, conservation work. We do a lot of work with our partners to work towards our management goals. And we also try to do our best to engage with the community down at Kīholo and educate the folks that like to enter and use that space. Kīholo, to me, means a kind of like resilience and sustainability. It's amazing that Kīholo and Pu'uwawa, Ahupua'a as a whole, from Mauka to Makai, has not been very developed. I think it's like an example of a pretty pristine Ahupua'a that has been mostly left untouched. There's definitely remnants of the ranching days all over the area, but yeah, it's just an amazing example of like what ahupua'a, or traditional land division, can be. And so I think it's important that we preserve it in its current state, so that we have a place for education and just kind of a bulwark of like Hawaiian resistance.
Aloha, my name is Kaleo Ortiz. I am a ʻāina with the Hui Aloha Kīholo. Once I started to, get a feel for the area, got introduced to Kīholo, then, oh yeah, it was just north or south, there's just action. You just got to know where to find it. My favorite place to spend time in Kīholo is Waiakae'u, and that is our native plant enclosure on the north side of the park. It is a place I like to, enter to detach myself, to reconnect. In that native plant enclosure, we actually have what they call the ceremonial coconut, which is called the Niuhiva. So we have several native palms down there. Hopefully we can get some more natives in there and then continue growing those native species and putting them elsewhere around the park so everybody can enjoy them. As a ʻāina, I can tell you what I've heard Kīholo is to other people, and then I can share you what it is to me. Yeah, so as a ʻāina, I kind of learned, Kīholo is a place of history, culture, always a place of learning. I've ran into people, who mentioned that Kīholo was their sanctuary, just a place that people come down to relax, spend time with family, reconnect to the ʻāina. And for me, it's definitely an opportunity to strengthen my roots here in Hawaii. Growing up, I was just straight, hard labor, swinging hammers, anything I can do to bust a sweat. And then now I'm still, working hard, but I'm learning at the same time, so it's nice. It's nice, yeah.
See, I'd rather have it tilting a little bit this way.
Rather than going over the
middle.
There you go.
Give it a slit.
I was president of Hui Aloha Kīholo for 17 years. And I think the title may have changed, but the stewardship that threads me into these roles remains. So it just looks a little different now. So when I was young, we used to go and stay at Kīholo quite a bit. So I have a lot of memories there when I was young too. You know, it was different then. We went, there wasn't the Queen Ka'aumanu highway, so we would go by Jeep or truck from the Marka Road and drive down about 2.5 hours. And so when we got to Kīholo, we stayed at Kīholo for weeks. So that was really, I think that was my early connections. Because a lot of the things we do, we hana, right? And that brings me joy too, though, because I always feel like, oh, this is good work. This is good work. The first thing you do when you go to Kīholo is you clean. So we'd start cleaning. We would, you'd either plant, clean, but that came first, and everybody knew it. So there was no like, oh my gosh, can't I go swimming? No, we all knew we get up and we work because it's cool. Because the hotels weren't built yet. The Hilton wasn't there. The Anaiho Malu, that big hotel, wasn't there. So we basically would just hiking and then come across these beautiful wahi pana. We had relationship, right, to the land. It was like the land's still feeding us, and we knew the places to gather. But it really gives me joy with other people, seeing them connect with Kīholo, just be there and let Kīholo, that you hear from her first. And you can't do that if you're not present. You know, a lot of times there's so many things that influence us now, and I think the greatest challenge is just your person, your being, coming into place and just listening to place. I really pule for your generation and those that are coming, because the challenge is putting down your phones, the greatest way you can connect to place is just being there. But yeah, so I think that's the greatest thing that I would share, that just, I know it's harder now. For me, it just was, you know, so I could just be there. And I think that was the greatest gift that places still are there to give us and connect us with the earth and all that is within, the sky, the clouds, everything's happening around you. So that's my words of wisdom. What aloha ʻāina means. It means the things that give us life. It's the things that ground us. It's those places, those pillars, those pohaku that we know we come from and that give us purpose. It's a part of me. It just is. There's a threading of my kupuna, and then there's my time in it, and then there's a threading to those generations to come.
Just something I must do for a future. Always knew that it would be just so.